Yo, what is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. And today we're starting once again a new NCAA Football 14 Dynasty. This is one that I wanted to start with at the beginning of the summer, beginning of the football season. The series that I wanted to do originally before I got stuck doing a little bit of a Rutgers Dynasty. This is one I wanted to be extremely difficult. This is why you see these difficult custom sliders. Well, I wanted to challenge more than I've ever had a challenge in NCAA football 14 dynasties. Each year, I go in with a team. I've been Iowa, Kansas, Rutgers, any of these teams, and I go in, and it's been a tough little start. But then by the end of the third year, we're competing for bowl games, like 10-2 seasons. Just playing really well. And this is something I wanted to completely change up. I was looking for some difficult sliders. I did able to find some of those. Haven't played on them, but they look like the hardest sliders I've imported yet today. So we are going to be starting an NCAA Football 14 Teambuilder Dynasty. I know Teambuilder is down, but there are still, if there's ever been made a team builder before the site went down, it is out there somewhere in the team builder stage of this game, and we are going to be the Vermont State Wolves. Yes, we are located here in Vermont, a super small state, the Green Mountain State. And, well, the Vermont State Wolves are, they're not known very well, and there's good reason for that. It's going to be our first year in the FBS. Couldn't even find ourselves a conference. We have to go independent for the first year. And if you look at the roster, there is not much to work with here. 69 overall, Elliott Newsome is our starting quarterback going into week 1. And basically, we're going to go through the whole roster, but nothing other than our highest overall is a 78, and that is our punter. Any other positions, the highest, I believe, is a 75, maybe something like that. We have two really strong running backs that I'm looking forward to using, but we'll go through this redshirting players, but really this is just an introduction to the roster. Just look at the ratings and everything as we go through. We'll get to know the players more as we play the games. But I'm just going to talk about this series a little bit. So going into the summer, I had brought up the Teambuilder website because I had seen people like Mr. Hurricane, Moonlight Swami. They were doing some Teambuilder dynasties. They're in the middle of their 6th or 7th year, and it just seemed like such a nice idea, and just something where it's really like my own. When I do these dynasties with like Kansas, and I've done one with Rutgers a little bit, my Iowa dynasty a couple of years ago, it wasn't exactly my own, but I got deep enough into the franchises where it's starting to feel like it, but I never held on to it that long because I was already good enough in that franchise. Whereas the Iowa dynasty, we won a national championship, but the Kansas dynasty with one of the worst rosters in the game, we got to the 3rd year and we won a bowl game against Pitt and went 10-2. So it's just hard for me to really stay tuned with it when I know in real life it's not going to take Kansas just a season or two to turn everything around. And it's not going to it's not just by snap of the fingers, everything is just going to be, perfect. So I wanted to just get something that was my own. I wanted to start with my own rosters. I do have the updated rosters, but obviously a team builder, this is not an actual team. So I wanted to start something from scratch, and that's exactly what I got here with the Vermont State Wolves. I went through so many team builders. I think I was up for like 3 hours. I think I went to bed at 5 a.m. when I was recording this. I was looking at just teams for probably 3 hours, just looking for teams, because when you don't get to make your own team, you obviously have to search far. And I didn't want to be a known team. I didn't want to be the 2001 Miami Hurricanes. There's plenty of those out there in the team builder. I wanted to be a cupcake team, but not everybody wants to be a cupcake team. Not very good roster. So obviously going through the team builder, it took me a while to find some. And even this one, they had, I believe, 3 guys in the 80s, and I had to bring them down a little bit just to be my liking. I believe a free safety, a running back, and maybe one other person, maybe another safety. We're in the 80s, and I brought them down a little bit. I had to edit my own rosters here. You got to do what you got to work with here, what you have to do, how to get it done. I had to change rosters myself into this franchise, but I think it's gonna be well worth it. I think this is gonna be probably one of my best series on the channel. I'm really excited to dig deep into this series. I think it's gonna be a struggle. I really do. The year 1, I'm not quite sure what we're gonna do. These sliders are supposed to be very difficult. Plus, with this type of roster, plus being an independent team, we get to schedule anybody. And let me tell you, this schedule is so difficult. I only scheduled one game. I changed one game up on the schedule. I'll tell you that when you see it. But it's a crazy difficult schedule. But like I said, it is going to be a grind with the Vermont State Wolves. It is going to be such a long journey. And if you're watching this episode, make sure you smash the like button. Make sure that way I know you guys are looking forward to this series. And subscribe if you're new. That way you can stay up to date with this Dynasty. I'm hoping to come out with an episode at least once every 3 days, maybe even sooner if you guys are loving this series. I'm just going to be having them out. Having my Marquette College Hoops 2K8 Legacy out right now. And then I also have my Idaho Vandals coaching carousel. Well, I guess I'm at the coaching carousel. It's really my Brendan Ross coaching carousel, but I'm at Idaho right now. Those are my 3 series going on right now, but I think this is going to be a big one. Just 3, small little series here that I could focus on, and that's going to help, I think, a lot to get this series kicked off. No new NCAA football games, so we got to work with what we got here. So I'm so pumped to get this series kicked off, and I'm so pumped to get to week 1. Today's just an introduction episode as we're going through the depth chart here. Like I said, we'll get to know the players as we play with them. It should be a lot of fun. I can't wait to build this roster on my own. I'm gonna be live streaming the off seasons. You guys are gonna be making decisions in the comments section for me all the time throughout this series. It's gonna be a lot of fun, I think. I hope you guys are excited for the journey as well as we are getting towards the end of this introduction episode. I'll show you our schedule here in just a second as I'm changing up our kick returners, but oh man, the only team I changed on this is number 6 Texas, at Tennessee, at Michigan, at Kentucky, finally home against Colorado State, Nevada, San Jose, UTSA, at Stanford, home against New Mexico State, at Arkansas, and at California. I mean, we don't even get to see our home field until week 6, I believe that is. I mean, that's crazy. This is going to be such a fun series, but that's what we are. We're, our first year FBS. It's not just going to be easy just to schedule Kentucky at home or Michigan at home. It's going to take a grind, and that's what I'm here for. Going to be creating my own playbook in the next couple of days, and then we'll be here to kick off week 1 at the Texas Longhorns. See you guys later.